double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce and episode 80 Sauce, and we're 20 away from the century to raise the bat. How you going?
Right, raise the bat. Yeah, we're close. We're close. I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's been a big week in the hobby. A few things going on, and obviously a big week in sport. We had the NFL wrapped up, the playoffs decided, so we are ready to roll into next week, and I can't wait for the playoffs because that's where the real stars shine and come out. But yourself, mate, you've been well.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I've recovered
You're back.
from
You're back. Recovered.
the vid. The vid's gone. I'm back. I'm in my undisclosed location. As you can see from the backdrop, I've actually got something in the background instead of blinds for once, which is nice for a change. But yeah, I'm super excited. We had a few big returns. Well, one big return. Well, a couple big returns actually in the NBA. Like you said, EPL is going to be back this week. NFL, we're moving into the playoffs. UFC is back this week. So we got a few things on the card source and a few interesting things that have happened in the hobby in the last week. Also, obviously, a big sale on Golden and a grading company that's been around for a while that has resurfaced. And is this the new PSA, pretty much, Source? That's the question that's on everyone's lips. I know our good friend Andrew Goldberg was not too happy on LTB when he was talking about it. But we will start with the NBA this week, change it back up, quick standings recap before we do get into a few interesting things. The Bulls on top of the East, Brooklyn behind them, Miami up into third. Quick shout out to my mob, actually. Bam's been out for a while. We've had a few guys out, Butler injured, and guys like Vincent, Strus, Hero's dominating off the bench, standing up, Source, and getting us some wins. I think at the moment, last 10, we're 7-3, which is pretty good. The Bucks in fourth. Philly have won 7 straight. They're into fifth. Cleveland 6th. Charlotte 7th. Toronto 8th. Washington 9th. Boston and New York 10th and 11th. Atlanta 12th. They're struggling. They've lost 2 straight. Indiana, Detroit, and Orlando there. Then in the West, Phoenix is on top, followed by Golden State, Utah. Memphis have won 10 straight. They've moved into fourth. Source, Dallas in fifth, Denver in sixth. Lakers lost yesterday. They're in seventh. Clippers in eighth. Minnesota, Portland, San Antonio, Sacramento, New Orleans, Oklahoma, and Houston round out the West. But few interesting things, Source, that have happened. Klay Thompson returned this week. It was fantastic to see that. It's been like over 950 days or something, almost 1,000 days before he played. Obviously, he did his knee, came back, did his Achilles, and just been a shambles for him. But he came out, showed out, 17 points on his return, saw straight into the starting lineup.
Big monster jam as well, which was good to see. But yeah, look, obviously we're just excited to see him back. We know what a player is, and I mean, if he can piece it together, if he can stay fit, and obviously Golden State, they've had a few hiccups. They lost today against Memphis. Ja Morant in that game was phenomenal. I'll talk about him in a sec, but just be good to get that chemistry together with Klay, and they could really, really make a finals push towards the finals, and potentially, who knows where that Golden State team could go this season. But yeah, they're looking, they've had a bit of hiccup, but still going well. And Curry, obviously, still dominating. Triple-double today, 29, 10, and 10. So not bad. But yeah, good to see Klay out there.
Draymond out for 4 to 6 weeks, I think I saw, which is not great. As you know, he's the facilitator, jack of all trades, mate, on that team. So hopefully they can get him back into the locker room very shortly. Obviously, we had another return, Source. He's playing away games only at the moment, but Kyrie Irving stepped back on the court, and he's played 2 games, and he's balled out in 2 games. He's been very good. It's like he hasn't missed a step. They didn't have James Harden the other night, and he played very, very well, Kyrie Irving. So, I don't know, Source. Some interesting
How's he going on for your fantasy team?
Oh, he's dominating. I just love the fact that I had Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving, and now they're both playing. Like, how good am I? Seriously, Sauce. And I'll just go back to the IR now. I'll just go find some other guy that's injured, and hopefully Ben Simmons is in there. I'll pick him up as well.
There we go.
Pedro.
What's going on, Pedro?
Little early. Yeah. Because I'm in my undisclosed location. Could get a bit busy in the house, and there isn't too many escapes sometimes, so it could get a bit loud. So rather get it done now instead of going in the parking lot like we did last year. So I remember those ones in my car in the parking lot. Had to just stick it on my dash, the phone. That was very interesting. Very interesting. One thing I'd love to get up and running is a bit of a comp, just to have a look, not to compare the two players, but just to have a look at Klay Thompson and Kyrie Source. Obviously coming back just to see what their card prices are doing. As we mentioned last week, a bit of a different layout to the way we do things now. Obviously looking at cards at the same time as the sport. Pedro says, you got lizards there. We got lizards everywhere, mate. We've got so much shit in this country. If you see it, it probably kills you. As simple as that. That's the way we approach things over here. See an animal, see an insect. Yeah, it's probably got your number. The other thing, while Sauce is getting that up, Tobias Harris is in potential talks to be in a trade package with Ben Simmons to ship them both out. Just your thoughts on that, Sauce. Tobias Harris is a bit of a floater. He's bounced around. I don't know.
Yeah,
bounced around completely.
He has bounced around. Doesn't seem to be able to settle. But if you have a look, I mean, he's no slouch of a player. It's just he's definitely not a number one option on a team. Like he's probably like his second or third option, which he is, admittedly, in Philly. But he gives you good size because he's able to rotate pretty much from the 1 to the 5 and is able to keep up with the guards as well on defense. So he gives you a bit of flexibility. I think he's a really good rotation player. And I mean, yeah, it would be interesting to see. I'm guessing they're having issues getting rid of that contract, most likely, not Ben Simmons. That contract. How much will that really work?
Would you take Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons at Atlanta? And who would you give up, Sauce?
Jeez, they'd have to give up. They'd have to give up Collins, maybe even Cam Reddish,
and Hunter.
Maybe Hunter and Collins.
You reckon Huerta, shooter?
Yeah, they might try to get a shooter around Joel Embiid to spread the floor. Yeah,
be interesting.
Yeah.
I reckon it could work, but I reckon it would work for Atlanta. Couple of experienced guys. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the only thing. Like, does Ben Simmons go there and start playing? Obviously, he needs the ball in his hands. So does Trae Young. I mean, Trae Young hasn't proven that he can play off screen, play off the ball. He's always got the ball in his hands. And why would you want to take the ball out of his hands? I mean, let's be honest. He facilitates really well. It will be. I don't know how that fits Ben Simmons with Trae Young. That's where I'm seeing that. So. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I mean, they're desperate. They're desperate now, aren't they, Philly, to get rid of him?
They definitely are. As much as what's his name, Daryl Morey said it could take 3 years to get rid of him. Now they're just trying to ship him off pretty quickly. They don't want the saga going for 3 years. So anyway, Pedro said lot lizards. If you can explain that, I'm not sure what a lot lizard is. Has it got to do with cards? First time I'm stumped. I've never heard that before. Global, how you going? Great to have you in. I think it might be Global's birthday today, I think. I saw. Got a bit of a notification, I think. If it is, happy birthday, legend. One of the greats in the hobby. So have you got the comp up source for Klay and Kyrie?
Yeah, mate.
Here we go. Mickey.
So I'm just comparing they're both out of the 2012 Prism set. So obviously everyone, the 2012 Prism that's going to be a famous set in the future. People are saying, they're comparing it to the 86 Flea. I don't know how you could do that, but anyway, is that the one 2012?
A case sold in the auction source. So when we get to Hobby Talk and we go through Golden, we can actually. Yeah.
People are really talking it up. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, it is the first year of Prism, so I do get it. But we're comparing their base. So Kyrie's PSA 10 in 2012 Prism base last sold for 400, and Klay Thompson last sold for 960. We can have a look at their last 6-month graph. They've only gotten close at one certain point in time. They were quite close, and then it's gone, apart from there. There was a point where Kyrie was actually more when he was playing and relevant. And then, Klay was out.
But even looking at that, Clay's held his value. Source. He's pretty much been out for almost 3 years. Go to 2 years.
So everything's run up from 2 years.
I know the run up, obviously, how it was. But you look at that not the peak there, not that peak, not that one. Peak. That peak there, obviously it's come down. And it's been pretty steady since...
Yeah, that's pretty steady. Well, I would probably say that's probably about 6 months of pretty... Yeah, it's been pretty steady. And while he's been out. And I think a lot of that has come to do with people have sort of talked about this so much about, looking at guys that no one's gotten their attention, Klay Thompson. And then it's gotten to the point because everyone knew Klay Thompson is going to come back. The Warriors are doing good. A lot of people talking about it. So then, people are buying his cards in anticipation of him coming back. But at the same time, I think regardless, I just don't see how Klay Thompson could be really a bad buy in the scheme of things. It could be a bad buy at the time when you maybe purchase something because you sort of don't want to purchase at a high. But if you're looking at collecting Klay Thompson and holding him, for future, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame, no doubt about it.
100%.
So, he's a Hall of Famer. He's going in. But then at the same time, I mean, just have a look at, I'll talk about another guy a bit later in Hobby Talk who someone put my attention onto him during the week. And it's just interesting to see how much his cards have dropped. But you'll see him later on, who I'm talking about. I'm gonna make his wait, so you just have to wait all to the Hobby Talk to know who I'm talking about. But it's surprising to see that, unfortunately, even though he was recently inducted into the Hall of Fame, his card prices sort of have fallen off, which is so is everyone, but it just doesn't prove that even though you get that Hall of Fame, it's interesting, and our good friends at LTB talk about cardboard relevance. When you're buying a cardboard, it depends on what your aim is to do with the cards you're buying. But everyone likes to buy a piece of cardboard that it's going to appreciate, or a figure in the game is going to hold some stance and relevance in history of the game. So, it's just interesting to see how it all pans out. That sometimes, even though you get that Hall of Fame, which is the pinnacle in a sense,
doesn't mean anything sometimes.
It doesn't mean anything sometimes. Yeah.
But Kyrie's an interesting one here. Would he be a Hall of Famer one day? Who knows? But just interestingly enough, he's going to be playing away games, but I don't know how it's going to work when it comes to playoffs. What happens if they do make the finals? He only plays 3 games in the finals. It's going to be very interesting.
This is what I mean. What's the go there? Say they make, that's what I'm saying. They go to Eastern Conference Finals. They need, if they come up against Milwaukee, they need Kyrie. They need him. I'm just going to, they need him because I'm telling you, Giannis and the Bucks have beat them, twice this season. Last
Giannis
game, obviously,
them.
in their house, Giannis is just a beast against them. He knows that they can't defend him. I mean, he sees LaMarcus Aldridge, Nick Claxton, and he just laughs in their face.
He's a nice guy.
Let's be honest. But they're no match for him. They are no match for him. He showed that last playoffs. So, they need Kyrie. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out, Doma. Whether that is literally, imagine you get to Eastern Conference Finals and Kyrie's only playing 3 of the games. I mean, especially Bucks finish on top with a better record. They've actually beaten them twice. They've beaten them twice this season. So that comes up against the match tie. So if Bucks finish on top with a better record, potentially, I don't know. The Nets are still, in front. But
Anyway, that time will tell when that plays out, Saucy, to be honest. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he'll get the
And
backs by then. I don't know what what the
they're
goal
not
is.
scared
But
of going into
correct.
Brooklyn and getting
Let's be
wins.
honest.
They know
Let's
that
be
they
honest.
can do it. So,
Let's be honest.
and that's where
KD will win
Kyrie
it
can't
himself
play.
if he has to. Yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah,
Like KD can win it himself if he really wants to. That's how good
he
he
can
is.
win. He can win it
So
himself.
just
Yeah,
needs the role players to step up. That's pretty much all he needs. One guy to come along for the ride with him, and he can win the whole thing.
Trade Kyrie for Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris.
They'd win if that happened. Global 40 today. The big 4-0. I love it. Here's a question source. We'll take this one down for the moment. Question Pedro says, with a lot of the OGs on 3 or 4 teams now, what's that going to do for the level of competition and skill when they're all retired? I'm a bit concerned, Source, because the rookie class this year is horrendous.
Yeah, I think it's too early to judge. I'm not gonna
but
say
I'm
that.
big,
I think it's too
but
early
when
to
they
judge.
but when they retire, when LeBron's gone, you think about it, you still got like Luka and Giannis, Zion if he actually plays, but Ja Morant's looking like
Ja Morant's looking like a beast.
yeah, Curry's still going to be there for a bit more. You might get a couple more years out of KD. There's still heaps of players that could, I don't know, carry the league going forward. It's just you got to hope that the rookie classes get better and better. LaMelo and Anthony Edwards look very, very good as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Evan Mobley's been the best this year by a mile.
Yeah, he has been the best. Kay Cunningham has showed at times he can show out, and that he's got that ability to be the guy. But it's too early to judge because I mean, let's be honest. Flashback if anyone wants to. If anyone wants to remember a guy by the name of Michael Carter Williams, had an amazing
Triple
first season.
double all over the place, mate.
One rookie of the year. Rookie of the year. Looked like he was going to be the face of the franchise, and now he's barely
he's out of the
struggling
league,
to get 5 minutes a game. Is he out of the league officially now?
I thought he was out of the league.
Yeah, he's bounced around to a number of teams. People have forgotten about him, and where is he exactly? So in terms of cardboard relevance, he's none.
I'm with Global. He said he'd rather buy KD. He's had a huge dip. I would prefer to buy him over a lot of guys as well at the moment.
Let's have a look at him.
Had a huge run of years with some awesome players come out of every single draft since Tatum. Correct. Got guys like Brown and Tatum as well. There's great talent out there. I don't know how many are going to become superstars. You think like Luka the Don is going to carry the league. Giannis is a megastar, mate. How good he is. He's not old, so be interesting. Very, very interesting.
Giannis is next, man.
What do we got for KD, Saucy? They can probably win it again this year, the Bucks. I know they had a bit of a rock patch, but they can.
I think they are the favorites, in my opinion. All right, let's have a look. We'll have a look at the infamous, and I say infamous because everyone knows this card. Everyone is going to know this card. I'm going to bring it up big screen. And that's the white border, the Gary V image that saw this card overnight skyrocket. If anyone who has been not even in the hobby, you're listening to this, probably about what we would say somewhere between 12 to 16 months ago, at some point around there, 12 or something, Gary V posted an image of this exact card, KD, white border, tops, rookie card, just the base. And I'll tell you what, it just shit went bananas. I mean, we'll have a look at the graph. We'll have a look at the 2-year graph. We'll see here that it's gone absolutely bananas. I think it might have been around mid 2020. You know, it might have been. I think the card was maybe about $100 or less, 150.
There it is.
Max.
Yep, $76, and it jumped.
And then it just went.
What's its peak?
See you later. It peaked at 2,000, came back down to 1,500, and then re-peaked at $2,375. And then since then, which is probably, that's probably about a year split. So we'll go to the year. Since then, on the year, it's down, 64%, down $1,200 on the year. It's now currently trading at $650 with a current pop count of 2,984, and the pop is only growing at 0.03% monthly. So the pop has slowed down, obviously, after the big influx that has come through PSA. And let's be honest, there's probably still a lot getting graded there. And if anyone knows the origins of this card, it actually was in a team set. So you'd buy the Sonics team set and you were guaranteed this card. So it was no guessing, am I going to get it in a pack? No, you go to the shop, say, I'm going to buy all these team sets, and you're guaranteed the card. So that's why there's so many of these around. It's not a rare card at all. I'd probably put it on the same level of as rarity as like the Topps paper Kobe from 96 in terms of rarity. But
Global says he loves the black variant.
Yeah, and that's the other one that you've got to have a look. Look how many nines, Doma, on the pop. 7,889. That's still growing at 1.2% a month. But yeah, we'll have a look at the back. The
still less than Zion Prism card, so it's not a bad buy in my opinion.
Still bad. Yeah, that's a fair point. I like that. I like that comparison, Doma. You know, like, would you rather go buy this speculative guy Zion? I mean, I know I've talked about him. I like him, but there's a lot going on with him at the moment. Or you can go buy a guaranteed Hall of Famer. And I know it's a PSA 9. I know there's 7,800 in the pop, but I mean, he's won 2 titles. Potentially could win another one by the time he's retired. Here's Global's black border, and that's a lot more rare. So, if you've got the money, the black border is the play. I'm not going to lie, because, that's people realized that it was rare and that it's a lot harder to grade. It's only 135 on the pop, not really growing too much. I don't know what that means. It's got plus
1.5%.
1.5%. But in the last 6 months, it hasn't been down too much, only down 19%. But in the last year, down 36%. So currently going for 4K, if you can find one. Did peak around 11K, which very interesting price. There's also the Topps Chrome as well. If you want to get involved in the market, there's a few KD options, and then obviously there's these autos. To be honest, I think these are going for 780. I did see an on-card KD auto today. Someone flogging it off for 600. If someone said to me, would you rather have a PSA 9, Topps Chrome rookie card of KD or the auto on-card, give me the auto on-card for $600 every day of the week. That's my type of collecting, something that I've sort of flipped around. I was a lot more into rookie cards and stuff like that, but I've sort of taken back from that because I actually value on-card autos a lot more than a rookie card especially in a PSA 9. I mean, yeah, if it's a 10, it's maybe a different story. BGS 9.5, different story. But yeah, the 10s are currently trading at 2,865 for the Topps Chrome. That's just the base. And then if you really want to have a look at, you've got the refractor, which is just bananas, and you got the Topps Finest. There's a lot to look at. The Topps Finest is not bad.
Pedro put in KD Santa hat, upper deck, 07 SP. I've got the
You got an image?
Yeah, I do. It's actually very funny.
Let me bring it up. I'll take this down.
I love it. Oh, look at this bad boy.
Oh, that's brilliant.
There he is. That's a great card.
Oh, I tell you what, if there was a private signing, I would get one of those to go in there. I swear I don't reckon he'd like it.
He'd probably piss himself. He's very good with the fans. I don't mind him. All right, Sauce. Very, very nicely done with the NBA. Let's move on now to the EPL. AFCON on at the moment. There was a bit of a break in the Premier League. AFCON's been getting played, so it's the African Nations Cup. They're all competing for the title over there. Games for the Premier League will be returning this week, starting Saturday. We've got Brighton Crystal Palace, City Chelsea, which will be a ripper. That's the 11:30 game, Source, so that'll be very nice. Burnley, Leicester, Newcastle, Watford, Norwich, Everton, Wolves, Southampton, Villa, United on Sunday. Liverpool, Brentford, West Ham, Leeds, Spurs, Arsenal on Monday. And then Wednesday before our pod next week, we've got Burnley, Watford, and Brighton and Chelsea. So interesting stuff there. Donnie Van Der Beek. So also just wanted to quickly touch on Donnie Van Der Beek. A few interesting things have come out about the great man, my man. the better defensive midfielder. And apparently, Ragnick's come out and said the 20 minutes he was on against Villa in the FA Cup, it looked like we were in complete and utter control. I don't understand, Source, why this is a new revelation for Man United fans. I have not been saying this for 6 months, a year.
Well, you don't really
even
know
when he comes on,
extended run in the side,
but even when he comes on and plays 5 minutes, Source, he looks better than Fred. Cherry, new hair for Doma. Yeah, thanks, Pedro. It's not Doma anymore, it's Brad. That's correct, it is. Thanks, Pedro.
All right. Pedro, stop pumping his tires. All right. Stop pumping his tires. His head's gotten bigger than the screen.
It's huge. I think Donnie's he'll play this week. I genuinely reckon he'll stop it. He'll start this week against Villa. I think he will. And hopefully he stays in the side. Obviously, a few rumblings as well in the locker room. Maguire and Luke Shaw don't like Ronaldo. Doesn't bother me. I don't want them anymore at the club. So if those are the two guys that are pissed off with Ronaldo, get rid of them. So doesn't bother me. Anyway, Source, we'll see what happens with United this week. I just wanted to touch on Van Der Beek and just say, you can get his cards out there cheap if you're interested. He's now Chad. Oh, just copping it, Cherry. Doma is now Chad. Doma. Yeah, zoom in. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. I'll take it. I'll take it. Come on. If anyone wants to bag me about it, at least do some good comps on that. Anyway, moving on. As Saul said, F1 got put out this week. There is a new movie. Speaking of the great man himself, but Brad Pitt is going to be in an F1 film. And Lewis Hamilton is also going to star in the film, apparently, alongside Brad Pitt. And that is currently in production. So, not sure what it's going to be about, but keep your eyes on that. That's pretty much it for F1. Unless you want to go check out George Russell wearing a Mercedes kit, you can head over to Instagram and check that out.
Did they get it as they going to be, what is it, Tops Now? Probably be a Tops Now rookie of that. I don't know. Maybe look out. I don't know. Maybe it was had to do with the shoot. I don't know.
There's going to be a Tops Now Le Mans card coming out very soon with some of the crap that people do with those cards. Next up, UFC Source. What do we got? It's back.
So UFC is back this weekend. UFC Fight Night, Qatar versus Chigatse. And look, I'm not going to run through I'm not going to run through the card. Check it out. It's this weekend on at 11 a.m. That's Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So I'm not sure what time that is on your local guide, but I'm sure you are aware of that. But next weekend, or I'll preview the card a bit better next week because it's, the following week after that's UFC 270, the first main event, the first one with fans for the year, and that's Francis Ngannou against Cyril Gane in that main event, and Brandon Moreno against Davison Figueiredo in the co-main event, and that's 2 title bouts, so back-to-back title bouts, which is going to be amazing. That's really more what I'm looking forward to, but it's still going to be a good fight night this weekend. And there's some up-and-comers, and I've got someone on my radar that I've been chatting to. They religiously watch UFC. They watch pre-card. They watch main card. They got the UFC freaking subscription. They watch everything UFC. They're just UFC fanatic. Been watching it since the inception of UFC. And he's telling me names of guys, and I'm like, yeah, I've heard of him. Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. And up-and-comers, he likes to know the up-and-comers, so it's good for the rookie card market. So being able to chat to him, a couple of names down, hopefully in the new prints of Prism, they get some of these. Hopefully they go more deeper into the prelim guys, so that you can get their first rookie cards and whatnot, and maybe I might have some names for you. So yeah, look out for that.
Very nice. Adam, what's happening? Great to have you in. Global says, what's your thoughts on the World Cup being in Qatar and being quite hot? Some of the European countries may not handle it. So just on that, yeah, I'm going to actually talk about that, Pedro, I'm glad you brought that up again. You just re-jogged my memory. But with the World Cup, they're actually going to have all the stadiums air conditioned to whatever it is. I think it's like 23 degrees. That's the way they've built the stadiums. So it shouldn't affect anyone. It'd just be like playing normal, I guess. Ideal conditions. If anything, they'll be a bit chilly. That's pretty much it. It shouldn't have a big effect on the players. Maybe when they're training, I don't know. In that sense, but game days, there shouldn't be much of an issue. Pedro says, are we going to check out the new Neymar documentary on Netflix in 2 weeks? Yes, I will be. Now, I know I've given him crap, this guy, before we do move on into NFL, but he actually is a very good player. I know he dives and he does what he does and people don't like him, and I'm not a big fan of Neymar, but he's actually very, very good. He is very, very good. He's a gun. He's one of the best Brazilian players to ever play, in my opinion. He's very good. Do I put him up there in the likes of like the upper echelon guys? No, I don't. Like your Ronaldinhos and your Ronaldo Nazario and Eusebio and Rivaldo, those guys, Cafu. I don't put him in that, but he's a very good player. He's the best modern Brazilian player to play the game, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's
hard
very
to
good.
disagree with that. Hard to
So I'll
disagree with
definitely be tuning in to watch that. Adam says we'll rob the World Cup. Should have been here. Yes, it probably should have. He might beat Pele's record in Qatar. Pedro says probably will. Is he better than Pele? I don't know. Can anyone genuinely say that they sat and watched Pele play? My grandfather didn't. I asked him about it, and he said Maradona was way better than Pele. He said Pele was nothing compared to Maradona. And he said Bobby Charlton was better than Pele. And no one's spoken about Bobby Charlton at all in this hobby. So, funnily enough, Source, people that have actually seen him play, I don't know. My grandfather did pick Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was playing for Sporting. And then as soon as United signed him, he said, you should watch this guy. Before he played his first game, he said he's going to be unbelievable. And the rest is history. Source is probably the GOAT. So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take my grandfather's word. He's been on the money.
Mate, I can't. I'm sitting on this side. I'm just listening. It's a story. It's good to hear. And I mean, there's not too many people that have seen all those generations and play and can speak on it today. You'd have to go back. You know, what was Pele was playing in the 60s, 50s, 70s, 40s?
No, it was very early.
Very early, yeah.
Very early. My grandfather's 90, so he's seen them all. And he said he loves Messi. He said Ronaldo is better than Messi, so I'm definitely going to take his word.
That's where you've lost the audience there.
That's where I've lost it. They're all out now.
You've been discredited.
Moving on, Saucy. Massive stuff in the NFL playoffs this week. I'm going to get you 50s to 70s, said Pedro. You got something to talk about. There was an interesting game. How it ended. Team out. Your mob's out. My mob's lost their coach. It's just all gone crazy. Absolutely.
All right.
Crazy.
So first and foremost, let's have a chat about the Indianapolis Colts. They needed to win against the Jags to go into the playoffs. You know what? I believe it was.
You're home.
It was on the
That's
road.
What you're saying.
It was on the
whole
road.
time you're like,
shouldn't matter. You're going up against the Jags, who have struggled all season, and Trevor Lawrence of
Taylor
Lautner.
You're about to drop the Taylor Lautner, I reckon.
He's given him one of his best games of the season, and the Colts were pathetic. Wentz was very, very average. Jonathan Taylor was only kept to 77 yards, which is very measly for him, and just poor effort all round. It's a must-win game to get into the playoffs. You'd think, you'd come up against that Jag side. And credit to the Jags, because they didn't give anything easy to the Colts. And they got that win. That's a bit of a confidence booster ending the season for them. They need to fill a lot of holes. Anyone who's judging Trevor Lawrence already, I think it's a bit harsh because they've got so many holes on both sides of the ball that just doesn't help you as a quarterback. If your defense can't stop anything, then puts a lot more pressure on you as a quarterback to make plays, and then you don't have the offensive guys, so it's tough. But yeah, Colts pathetic. And then other than that, you had some interesting results. Lions beat the Packers, but that didn't really matter. It was a dead rubber. The Browns beat the Bengals. It didn't matter. I think they even, Chase Keenum started, so it was all these were all dead rubbers. Interesting betting opportunities if you were paying attention to lineups and things of that nature. But there was one game with the Jags and Colts game played before this game, and then this was a later game in the day, and that result was already known. So they could have potentially drawn the game, and if they drew the game, they would have both advanced to the playoffs. But it was pretty funny because they ended up going down, the Raiders, and kicking a field goal in overtime and defeating the Chargers. And there was talks of them, there was interesting footage of them, saying, meeting with each other, speaking with each other, both teams, and on the field, at times, and just having a conversation. It wasn't like there was, having any sort of argument regarding the game, but it was more of just looked like a conversation, and who knows what was getting spoken about. But there was, murmurs that it was about them potentially drawing it. But it's so funny because the Raiders ended up winning. Then they jumped from 8th seed to 5th seed, so now they don't have to play Kansas in the playoffs in the first round, and they get out of that, and then they knock the Chargers out of the playoffs. But yeah, that was a bit of an interesting one, Doma. But onto the wild card week.
Yes,
this week
I've got them up, Source. We've got Raiders at Bengals, Patriots at Bills. Then we've got Eagles at Bucks, 49ers at Cowboys, Steelers at Chiefs, Cardinals at Rams. So the ones to watch, obviously great games here. You got Raiders at Bengals, Patriots at Bills, so they'll face off again for the third time this season. Eagles at Buccaneers. Buccaneers should get it done. I just think the game of the week could be that San Francisco Cowboys game.
It's going to be a good game.
So, look,
and the 49ers are on the high.
Just so good. I feel good, Source. I feel good. James, welcome to the show. I'll take that as well. You're really not doing anything to deflate me. You're just making the ego so big at the moment, guys.
He's being called Brad Pitt.
I don't know.
Beckham.
Come on, guys. You listen to the podcast. If anything, if anyone can take shit, it is me. You could just be abusing me, and I'll laugh. I reckon it'd be hilarious, but I'll take it in my stride. Brad Pitt, Chad Michael Murray. I'll take Slim Shady as well. I'll take that.
Yeah, Slim Shady.
Odell Beckham. I'll take that. Interesting one before we do get into a few of these. But what do you reckon on that San Francisco game? I reckon that's going to be a ripper. And then Steelers Chiefs.
A great game.
Who knows?
49ers had a big win, to comeback win in overtime against the Rams in last week, I believe. And, showed a good offense. Defense side of the ball was pretty solid. I think it's going to be a tough game. The 49ers have put together a bit of a run now leading into the playoffs. So not going to be an easy feat. Is at Cowboys home. But they can be hot and cold at times, the Cowboys. We've seen them this season, how good they can be. And then we've seen them at times where they sort of a bit lackluster. But honestly, that does look like the game of the round. I'm not going to lie. The Cardinals game.
In the Cardinals game, yeah, 100%. The Cardinals game is going to be unbelievable. That'd be a great one. So from that source, forgive me. Honestly,
we're going to give some tips here, surely.
Yeah, we will, but forgive me because I'll bring this up. If you can, let me see if I can. I'll do, here we go, double coverage production, mate. Bang. Oh, look at this. All right, we'll give our predictions. So I'm assuming the winner, this is how it works here. So Chiefs Steelers, the winner of that will play the Titans. I'm going Chiefs in this one. Probably Big Ben's official last game, unless he pulls the rabbit out of the hat and they can get something done. But I'm I'm going
Chiefs as well.
I'm going Chiefs. Then we got
I've got
Bills.
the Chiefs to win the whole thing, so I've got to stick with them.
Yeah, you got. Then we got Bills Patriots.
It's an interesting game. I
winner
think
the winner of that goes into this pool. I'm assuming down here. I think that's how it works, unless I've got something wrong. Yeah, I think it does work that way. Bills Patriots, two close ones. I think they split it 1-1. There was the game. Obviously, they played in the blizzard this year, where Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times. It was unbelievable. They're just playing in the snow derby. I'm going Bills in this one. I reckon Patriots could come to an end. Sauce?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one, but I'm going to go with the Pats. I reckon it's going to be a good season for Mac Jones and be just something that Belichick could do, pull it off. And admittedly, I mean Josh Allen, he's been good this season. He's been good. I'm not going to say he hasn't been.
He's been good.
He's been good. But I just feel that if there's one coach who could pull it off and be able to slow him down, and then be able to manage the game well,
100%.
the Bills have to stop the run. If the Bills can't stop the run, it could be a tough day because, you've got to force Mac Jones to throw the ball, force him to throw
100%.
the ball and, try and make those mistakes. But, yeah, I'm going to go opposite side on that one. I'm going to go the Pats.
Nice. All right. Then I'm going for your boy. I know who you're going for in this one. I think we're both going Bengals. I want to see Joe Burrow succeed. He's played a hell of a season, so I hope he does really well and he can get into the next round.
Let's just hope he hasn't played his playoff game already, which was last week.
Correct.
So
then over to the other side, we've got Bucks versus Eagles. You can't count out the GOAT. I'm not counting out.
Yeah,
Brady,
I'm going the Bucks.
I'm going the
Bucks there.
Then we got Cowboys 49ers. I'm going to stick with the Cowboys, but they could easily lose this game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's at it's in Dallas.
Jerry's World, baby.
Yeah, it's at Jerry's World. But I don't think the 49ers are scared to go in there. I mean, they went into the Rams and got the job done. I'm gonna go the other side of the ball here. I'm gonna go 49ers. I think they've put together a few good games here leading up to the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to get the stop.
The team I put all my chocolates into last season that let me down big time, the 49ers. But then we've got Rams and Cardinals to finish it off. Sauce, I know who you're gonna go for, I think, but I'm gonna go with LA. Let's see if the Stafford, Odell Beckham, that experiment, bringing a new quarterback in. He's got the Rams to 12-5. They brought in Odell Beckham. He's actually played really, really well. He's fit into the system beautifully. They got Cooper Kupp into that team, Robert Woods. They got a great side. So I'm going to back him in.
Yeah, 100% the right move by the franchise to, ship off Goff and get Matthew Stafford. Admittedly, he's older, but they realized what Goff was, which was, just an average QB. I mean, they did get to a Super Bowl with him, didn't get the job done. So, moved off him, and Stafford looks like it was the right play. He's got much better arm, much better, accuracy. It's a tough one. This is, the Cardinals were up and about early days in the season. They sort of faded a little bit, but they've got a bit of their mojo back. It's going to be tough. But I don't know. It's in LA, so that's why I'm probably edging to the Rams. They probably want to, obviously get the win. Obviously, losing last week, you want to. I think this is a knockout game, so there ain't no second chances. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go the Rams only because it's at their home field. But I think this is a flip of the coin, this game. Like, I don't think this is a tough call.
Fair enough. Very nice. All right, let's get to the chat. There's been a few things that have come through. I'll get rid of this on here. Pedro said, did you hear New York is suing the Jets and the Giants for using their state's name? No, I didn't. It is an $8 billion lawsuit. Why, Pedro, can you give us a bit of insight into why they wanted to do that now in 2022? after they've been in existence for such a long time. Pedro said he used to live in Jersey since '89. The Giants have always been in Jersey. Oh, okay. Adam says Mac Jones Origins rookie number to 199 that you boys liked that I scored in a break. I scored another one in a break. There you go.
Beautiful.
Obviously, we've got James's comment. I'm not bringing it back up. Adam says, funny thing, I heard Carr was going to kneel, but then the Chargers called a timeout. Then they changed the play at the end of the game. Pedro says, I dubbed thee Lord Braddington, the Earl of Donner. Yeah, I'll take that. Adam says, Pats, I reckon they'll beat the Titans, then move on to beat the Raiders. Unfortunately, then beat the Eagles in the big dance. You reckon the Eagles are going to make the Super Bowl?
Jeez.
I genuinely reckon Green Bay is going to put 40 up against them, a big 40 piece. James says, is Rodgers gone next season no matter what they do in the finals? Well, funnily enough, I actually think he is.
That's an interesting topic. I
reckon it's the last hurrah, to be honest. The big last hurrah. He wins it there. And then in Aaron Rodgers' favor, in Aaron Rodgers' narrative of Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, he leaves to say, you treated me like nothing, and this is what I could have delivered to you for the next 4 years if you gave me what I wanted. That's the type of shit that he does. Like,
come to the Colts, mate. Come to the Colts.
Yeah. Then
you can have Carson Wentz.
New York's been hurting since COVID. I guess they're suing anyone they get some loot from. James says, buy Love now. I wouldn't buy Love. I reckon he's a dud. He's absolute spud. So save your money on that one. They'll draft a QB 100%. I might have to make a move here, boys, in terms of move. I'm going to migrate. So let's get into hobby talk. You can start chatting about horizontal slabs. I'll be back on in literally 2 minutes.
You've got me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be running the show for a little bit while Doma moves location. So we're going to jump right into hobby talk where we had HGA have released horizontal slabs. Now, this is the first of their kind on the market. We did have a little bit of words about this previously. They did speak about it, that they had this, coming. But they had to go away and reframe redesign their overall design. They had some issues because someone they released an image of it before they patented it, which was, pretty rookie if you ask me. And then that other person patented the image or the design of it, and then they had to redesign it, which was all good by them. They did speak about it, but I'm trying to find the post about it so I can actually bring it up. It's just on Facebook. Let me just find it. They look interesting. Is it something that, let us know in the comments, is it something that you would be looking at potentially? A horizontal slab. Hang on. Here we go. There it is there. Horizontal slab from HGA. That's a kaboom. And then here is a auto. Yeah, I think they look pretty cool. Horizontal. I like the fact that you don't have to change the direction of the card to read the label. I don't mind it. I think it's definitely something that I would entertain for sure. For sure. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And, within that same update, you'll see HGA did release a number of other things, just explaining that they've, obviously 38 days behind on certain orders, and they've locked out certain orders. So just giving a bit of an update. There it is there, Doma. Your thoughts on it?
I don't mind. I like it.
I think it's cool. I think it's it's something that I would definitely be interested in. I hate horizontal cards, and they got the label the wrong way. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I think it's gonna because we're doing the bulk sub. I think it's gonna be around probably like $8 to $10 extra for our sub, based on what we've been told for the pricing. So if you want the horizontal, you got to pay extra for it. But that'll be confirmed, obviously, in our Facebook page. But yeah, we will be getting it. A bit chunkier, says Pedro. Smokey, who knows? Have you gone through these comments? Sorry, Sauce had to. Adam says stranger things have happened. He's gone somewhere else. That's on Rogers. Adam says, Saucy, I hope that's not a Westbrook jersey that you're wearing.
Kobe, mate.
He doesn't wear shit. He doesn't wear shit. As simple as that.
I don't wear guys that go 2 of 16.
I don't watch guys that are duds. Wear guys that are crap. So, something new there. Horizontal slabs. Could be a play. I don't know. Make your cards look nice. Next up, Sauce. Logan Paul, your mate, authenticating his case of Pokemon cards.
Yeah, so
the BCCE still hasn't even happened.
Yeah, it hasn't even happened. The saga goes on. It's so funny.
This is elite. It's actually very funny.
The funniest part about this whole thing is the band of people that are now hanging out together. You've got this guy called the Pokey Jew, right? You've got Gary King Pokemon, and you've got Logan Paul hanging out together. Now, if you put those three side by side together, you'd go, what the fuck are they doing together? Literally. Like, they don't look like they would have any common interest, but their common interest is Pokemon cards, which is why this hobby is amazing, because they have that in common. They've given their opinions on it, but there's so many questions that what this could lead to, Doma. There's so many questions. The authentication of the box was given by Basketball Card Exchange. So anyone who doesn't know who they are, look, Google them, figure it out.
Is it basketball, baseball?
Baseball Card Exchange, right? And essentially they just verify products, right? And they do some other stuff. But essentially they give it their wrap. And when they wrap it in their seal, then it's been authenticated, whatever, right? The story goes, Shine said that it was wrapped by a Basketball Card Exchange, so he didn't, think of anything, the authenticity of the box. And same with Logan Paul, he didn't think of the authenticity of the box because it was wrapped by them. The thing is, there's been the history of faking first edition boxes and cases. There's been heaps of it done over its time, and the only real way to tell is to actually open the case, look in, and actually look in the boxes, right? And make sure that they haven't been resealed and things like that. Gary King Pokemon actually has a case, and the only way he was able to get it authenticated was to let Basketball or Baseball Card Exchange, to open it and authenticate it. I don't know if they authenticated it, but someone did authenticated it. And that was the only way for them to decide whether his was real or fake, right? So the word is that Logan Paul's could potentially be fake, and so now he's taking it back to Baseball Card Exchange. He's then going to take it, get it opened, and then get it resealed, obviously, if it is real. But the thing is, if it is fake, Doma, what does this mean? What does this mean? Does this mean that Basketball Card Exchange, baseball Card Exchange, does this mean that their legitimacy has been shot? Because they can't even do this right. So how do we know, there's Baseball Card Exchange sealed 2003 Topps Chrome cases? Basketball.
No, don't.
Are they real?
Don't.
Right? This is what I'm saying. This opens up a can of worms. I heard someone speaking about it. South Park Cards, if you don't know South Park Cards too, put a bit of a post about it, and it got me thinking. It's like, you see all these Baseball Card Exchange authenticated, and the thing is, it's a bit like having a PSA and a BGS. Like, people pay more for the authenticated baseball card exchange wrap around it. People will pay a premium for that, right? Now, you're paying premium for a company that can't even do their job. This is what I mean, right? So this is an interesting time, because if it is fake, it will. I'd like to see the where this goes from here. Does Card Kahuna and Mealy Pops, the original people who found the case, do they have the money to pay back and give the money back to Logan Paul, back to Shine? And Shine obviously has the money for Logan Paul because Shine's loaded, right? But do they have the $2.5 million that they sold the case to Shine for?
There's a few interesting things coming out of your source. Adam says he loves how you call it, how you see it. Global says Mr. Paul admitted not doing his due diligence in researching before he purchased it. Adam says, do you reckon Logan Paul an early favorite for Le Mans of the year if it's fake? Nah, not really, because he made $1 gazillion off of it anyway. And Global says Baseball Card Exchange admitted not having experience with Pokemon as well.
There you go.
Source.
So how can they be an authenticator? This is what I mean. Like, these people, they just want to take money to take money. Yeah, like, you're authenticating you know nothing about. Like, so what gives it any? Like, what gives them any authority? Like, this is what I mean. Like, just some things in the hobby don't make sense to me. Like, they're authenticating something that they don't really know about. So what authority are they? They're not really an authority because they've got no history with it. It's just. It's amazing. It's amazing, but
it is amazing.
I mean, I'm interested to see what happens. And you know what? I actually want them to be fake because I just want to see I just want to see what happens.
Oh, the hobby would lose its mind. The hobby would lose its mind. But it's actually funny, Source, like how all these different parties have come together now, and it is like that's the great and wonderful thing about the hobby. Like, all these people have come together. They did a live. They had bloody Island Boys in there. I don't know why the hell they were in there. I just skipped past that shit.
As soon as they came on, I turned it off. I was watching it live. As soon as they came on, I turned it off.
Bloody Le Mans boys over there. Next up, Source. Before we get into the two big topics, obviously hoops dropped. Your thoughts?
Shit. Hobby boxes only have 2 autos instead of 1 this year. They've completely fucked the high voltage set, which was one of my favorite sets.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
She's not a fan.
I don't mind a few hoops. Like, I don't mind hoops, but
what about when Hoops Premium comes out? You gonna buy that?
No.
You sure?
No. I mean, anyone wants some 1920 Hoops Premium fat packs? Let me know. Hit me up. I've got some for
Global
sale.
says they'll have to rip open those Pokemon packs to verify it, just like our mate, old Baldy, who's not in the hobby anymore. I always forget his name. Genuinely always forget his name. We spoke about him last week on the show, and I just forget it because he's so irrelevant now.
Is it there? No, it's not. It's
Nah. I forget his name. If you can bring it up in the comments.
Someone knows in the comments.
He's just a Le Mans. He was so funny. That guy was the best. Would you rather have a wad of 10K, or would you prefer a Blastoise PSA 10 first edition? It's like, I'll take the 10K, thanks. He was actually a spud. I used to fan it out on like the park benches. He used to do it in like a park bench. Have all this high-end shit. He's gonna get looted, Source, at the park. Adam says card porn's been pretty quiet on this, I reckon. Well, that's their prerogative. So, we're indifferent with them at the moment. We're just, very neutral with each other. They don't follow us anymore, and we're just like, whatever. Can't be fucked with them, to be honest. Next up, Source, Mint Collective is going to be happening in March. It got pushed. I think we mentioned that last week. It got pushed, but obviously Cherry Crew's going down there. Grayson and Charlie. Charlie, when he jumped in on the last pod of the year, said that he was also going down, which was awesome. A few interesting things sourced out of this. So Panini is coming on as a sponsor for the show, which is fantastic. And Cherry put in a post in their Cherry Crew today. And somebody put a post in the Cherry Crew regarding Mint Collective about Panini And I commented on there, and I said I thought it was an amazing thing, and I said Grayson's going down there to represent literally Cherry and the hobby here for Australia, which would be fantastic. And a guy commented underneath me and said, "Yeah, it's awesome having them. BGS have announced that they're going to be bringing their bulk sub back at the Mint Collective." So the return of BGS is coming back at the Mint Collective source. I'll try and find the actual, but yeah, that was literally this morning.
All right, so they're going to open shop. They're going to be accepting cards again.
Mint website dropped Beckett to open up bulk submissions again, starting at the Mint Collective. What else we got? I said
so they would have been shut for a good 6 months.
Yeah. And then this person said, yeah, put them in one corner and Fanatics in the other. Personally would have put them next to each other and watch the tension. Panini and Fanatics right next to each other. So interesting. I don't know, Source. I don't know. Be interesting. It's the first time they've actually done something in the last 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, a year.
Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how much the cards cost. I mean, not for anything. The only time I ever graded cards with BGS, it cost me $50 a card. And now it costs you $50 to. Well, this is AUD by the time you send all your cards over and get insurance on your cards. Like I'm talking AUD here, guys. If you're from outside Australia, now that's the price you pay to send to HGA. Now with the BGS clearly probably not are above HGA. Admittedly, they've been around in the hobby a lot longer. What's their pricing going to come out at? I'll be interested to see, what levels that they have, what level access that they have, how their turnaround times now are. Because there's still a lot of people that care about BGS, and I'd still grade with BGS for sure. But yeah, we need to see what service levels they are going to have to offer people.
100%. Completely agree with you. Saucy. Global says he's got to buy his tickets for Hobby Hangout. Yes, super excited for that coming up next month.
Make sure you get them, Global. Get down there. We'll be
come visit us.
Sure. Come say good day.
Very nice. Sauce, the last two things, the two biggest things. Before we get into Saucy's Smoky, if you have one. If not, we'll wrap up the show. If I said to you, Sauce, if it ain't ISA, don't bring it my way, what would you say?
I would say
it's the greatest story in the hobby at the moment.
It is unbelievable. Like, this is what ISA has done is literally what PSA did. Now, admittedly, PSA have been around for a lot longer, but anyone tell me how is not exactly what PSA did in getting Kendrick Perkins, in getting, I don't know whether they reached out to Lefko, getting Lefko to put it up on NBA TNT PSA cards, like, reaching out to all these people.
Logan Paul,
Steve
PSA, Aoki.
Steve Aoki. There we go. There's more. There's
Rob
more
G.
More. Right? You can't tell me that is not the same thing. You got now everyone, admittedly, is wanting ISA cards. And you know what? ISA have actually been around for a little while. They were just sort of a small player in the grading space. Now, obviously, trying to make a bigger push. And then you've got big sort of influencers in the space pushing them. You've got Gary V, OTS Sports posting about him. I don't know who else posted about him, but there was a whole bunch on Instagram sharing ISA.
Everyone was going crazy over it.
Now, people, saying they were not, not paid for. Regardless, it doesn't matter if they're paid for or not. If it's a succinct push out by people with a large following, to us, it's like a promotion. Like, it's, and promotions come in many different ways, and the way that they get, you might get reimbursed for that. So it might not be monetary value, it might be something else. So, it's funny. It's pretty funny.
So, Global says, what a pisser. Everyone put it up. What's happening with that? Who actually owns it? Why are they pumping it up? So it was one of the influencers was looking for a card, and they said the only way you can get the card is in an ISA slab, which, funnily enough, if you go look at ISA and you go look at PSA, it's genuinely just the blue version of PSA, the label. If you go look at the card, it's very funny. It's just a PSA slab with a blue outline instead of a red outline, which I found pretty funny. Like there's a few differences, obviously the text, the font, sorry, but it's actually very, very funny, Source. And admittedly, as Source said, this is exactly what happened with PSA. Now, Andrew Goldberg, friend of ours, LTB, came on, and it was a couple episodes ago, and he genuinely just went on a rant, and he said, how dumb do you think people are in the hobby for thinking you can shove this crap down our throat, blah, 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 blah. Source, I'm going to tell you, Source, like, this is going to be controversial, but I'm going to tell you how dumb people are in the hobby. Because we did this with PSA and everyone bought into it, and you made them the biggest grading company.
And now you have to pay 50% more on a PSA 10 for a card that's the exact same as a BGS 9.5.
So what's the difference? Honestly, what's the difference? So it was all right for PSA to do all that stuff? Like, it's exactly the same thing. And now people need to understand. Pardon?
This is them, by the way. I say.
I know it's them. Yeah. This is them.
If you're
this
watching, we're listening. We are showing it.
Honestly, I've actually got nothing against.
We don't have anything against them.
No, we don't. Because in all honesty, we've always been two guys that have said there's always a space for grading companies. It doesn't just need to be PSA. Others can actually get a cut. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is now, like ISA gets pumped by celebrities, and celebrities are using that. And we turn around and we say, oh, that's crap. How dumb do you think we are? Blah, blah, blah. Then HGA came out and did their thing. SGC got better. You know what I mean? HGA cops flack. SGC cop flack. SGC is more of like a soccer thing now, and they've become a lot better, and people grading with them a lot more. But what was any difference to what we went through?
Yeah, it is no.
There's no difference.
It looks the same.
So now we're complaining about something that literally happened 24 months ago. 2 years ago, when that crap came out with Perk and all these other people and PSA this and PSA on TNT and this and that, everyone was fine with it. No one cared. When celebrities were shoving it down your throat and making an industry standard. They created the industry standard through that marketing.
Yeah.
And now they go to do it with another one, and you can't shove that down our throat. We're not going to fall for that. You've already fallen for it. You already fell for it. So there's no point complaining. You might as well just grade with them, and we get a new grading company in. That's it. They're pumping it, I reckon, global because it's so cheap to grade your cards with them. That's why. So they can grade their cards with ISA, get their cards back, and then flip them.
20 business day.
Instead of spending $100, instead of spending $100 with PSA, you can spend $20 and grade 5 cards for the price of one. Then flip them. That's probably why they're pumping it. Costs a lot cheaper. Express is cheap as well, so it's like $45 or something, $60.
$45 for 2 day.
There you go.
5 day, $28.
Go on PSA's website quickly. We'll get their figures.
Oh, it's just silly.
No, but that's what I'm saying, Source. Like, that's the only reason why I can see people pumping another company. Their prices are cheap. I went on their website once I saw all this stuff coming out, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's cheap as. If they're getting around to those turnaround times, that's so cheap. It's like ridiculous. It's cheaper than HGA and SGC. HGA's, yeah. It's cheaper than both of them. So I don't know. There's no
clear pricing structure on their website.
Yeah.
It all got to do with the value.
Yeah, it's all that Le Mans stuff. Just anyway. Last thing, Source. Moving on. That's pretty much it. That's to sum it all up. This has happened to us before. You bought into the shit. This time, when it gets thrown down our throat, you don't buy into it and you say, "Oh, you're pumping and dumping." But
no, you don't buy into it because everyone's holding bags of PSA. That's why.
Yeah, exactly right. At the end of the day, as I said, you already
Whereas
felt it.
before, when they were pumping, everyone had the bags of PSA, so they were happy about it.
Global says people like Gary Vee and Logan Paul don't need to flip cards, though. It's true. No, but there's others in there as well. Like, there could be have a vested interest in a company. There's a lot of things. Like, they become something like more value to them. I actually don't mind it, as I said, because I don't care if there's another grading company. It genuinely doesn't bother me. All you do is just protecting your card. As Sauce and I said, if you genuinely want to protect your card, just go buy a vanity slab. Protect your card.
Yeah.
Save you a shit ton of money, time, and effort. Moving on, lucky last Sauce, Golden Auction latest sales. It was a ripper. There's a few interesting things in this sale as well.
I'll bring it up.
Ticket stubs and the whatnot.
So you got the LeBron RPA, it's a number to 99. The what they call the true RPA was PSA 8.5, 10 auto, 1.572 million. You got a Wilt Chamberlain 1961 Fleer. I believe this is his rookie in a PSA 9. Wow.
The Brady jersey is
285,000.
nice as well.
Brady.
Apologies for
signed
listeners. Apology for the listeners, but we're just
jersey.
running through highest sold to lowest sold. We usually just go through a couple pages. There's an upper deck. What case is that, Sauce?
So this is Upper Deck Basketball Exquisite Factory Sealed Case 2003. Upper Deck Exquisite, $840,000.
Wow.
Verified by baseball card exchange. Keep saying basketball. Baseball card exchange. There it is there. And is it real? Is it real, Doma? We don't know. They verified something that might be fake.
It's real. It's all real.
Yeah, I'm joking. I think it's real. But some cool sales here. You got the Topps Chrome Gold, number to 50.
Nice.
LeBron James selling for in a BGS 9.5, selling for 900,000. You got the X Factor.
Oh,
yeah, the X
so
Factor
nice.
looks awesome. We'll bring it up.
Then
a few more stuff. Player LeBron, some rookie. What's this? A flawless rookie patch auto. Mahomes number to 25. BGS 9.5 sold for $57,000. Some big sales. You got a Luka horizontal RPA number to 25 selling for 39,000. Joey Burrow 1 of 1. What is it? National Treasures NFL Shield. BGS 9 selling for 96,000. Pretty interesting.
So you might need to
Kyler Murray
might need to go to the. I was going to say go to the top.
The same price.
I was going to say go to the top, and you can change it from highest to lowest. There's a few because there's a case of so if you click on that highest and lowest, I think
lowest price, highest price.
There's lowest price, highest price, and there's like a case of Prism there, as we mentioned at the top of the show. So those were like obviously the most expensive. There's another Jordan there, another Zard sold, Ant-Man. It was probably on the next page, but there's there it is. Yeah, that's it there.
So that's
132K.
132K. So for 12 boxes, that's the 2012 Prism. That's pretty interesting. This is a cool sale.
And a PMG source, just this
PMG.
What about the other
Steve
PMG?
Nash, green.
What about the slap in the face, the Spider-Man? Every time I see them now, it's just like another dagger into my heart. It's just a dagger after dagger after dagger.
We should have had these, Doma. I mean, we got to get on to Rick. We got to get on to Rick and see if we got to find him.
We might have to. We got to jump back into Clubhouse, get him.
We got to find him because it'd be awesome to get him on the show. He said he had heaps of these, and I'd be love to know some of the values on some of them because he said he was just buying them up like a frenzy. As soon as Marvel blew up,
he was actually going crazy.
He said instead of buying those Marvel, what everyone was buying, first Marvel 91 Impel Marvel, he was buying all these Marvel PMGs. That's what he was buying. So who knows how many he has.
So if you go back to page 1 source, there's some big cards on page 1. The Messi SDPSA 10 is a new high right. I'm not sure on that one, Pedro. That Jordan I thought went pretty cheap, 217. Especially considering that gold LeBron sold for a shit ton. The widescreen.
Yeah, interesting sale that, isn't it? That's a only in a 9, and it's gone for $204,000. Crazy. It's a nice card.
Very nice card. Very, very nice card.
Only 23.
It's player worn as
Made.
well.
Here we go. You're paying what's to 99? Is that
the other
no,
one
to 10? To 10.
The interesting
LaMelo,
one of the
204,000.
most interesting lots was actually the Giannis rookie. And then the lot that had the Giannis rookie in it.
Yes, only sold for 27,000 or something. Wasn't much.
And you could have got in the lot for the same price or cheaper.
Yep.
I think it was.
Here's a complete set. Look at this, Doma.
I did see that. I reckon that's such a great buy. Who's in it? Let's see some of the characters. Thanos.
Deadpool. Wolverine. Flash. Not Flash. Iron Man.
There's some good ones down there. Who's is that Galactus? The second one?
I don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah, so he's going to be one of the new villains coming up in the next stage of the Marvel series. He'll be one of the new ones. That's actually not a bad buy for.
Here we go. PSA 10 cracked ice rookie Herbert numbered to 22, $75,000. Pretty crazy.
You got the rookie as well.
Yeah, Steph Curry rookie. So that's PSA 10, the gold. That's numbered to 2009 and 67,000. Henry. Oh, here we go.
Yes, there you go.
PSA
you'd
10,
love that one.
Thierry Henry. Oh, this is the original rookie too. Dang, Let me have a look at this. It's a big sale. PSA 10. I think this is the first PSA 10 that I've seen come up for sale. 66,000, man. Wow.
Remember when I could buy Zidane rookies raw for $400? Man, that was a good day.
Man. Not anymore.
Yeah. Well done, Dom. Your lemon. Realistically, if we had to give a lemon of the year right now, it'd be to me and Sauce. Lemon of the century. That's nice. That's very nice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's always fun to go have a look through this stuff because, people say, oh, the market's down. Yeah, the market's down for some things. But come on,
but for the high-end stuff.
Puts you into perspective that, there are some big collectors out there, some guys that really want this stuff. You've also got the fractional people that now buy up a lot of this stuff and, then put it, fractionize it. So, that helps a bit with the higher end market because they don't go fractioning freaking, base prisms, do they? They go straight for the big stuff. And you see these sales and it's pretty interesting. We will have a look at ticket. There was one ticket sold.
No, there was no. It is up the top source. It's under. Where was it? No. It was usually non-sports, memorabilia, art posters, and more. I clicked on it before. It was like right at the top, like on the side. Game use, non-sports, full tickets and
stubs. That's the one. Yeah, so this is really interesting.
The ones, I understand the ones with the autos, okay, because they got an auto on it. Like that one's got Brady's auto on it. But if you go and look at some of the other ones that don't have an auto on it, and people have gone and got the card graded, or the ticket graded.
Yeah.
Like that one there, that big one there, the picture one, that is Shohei Ohtani's debut and first game hit, full ticket. Look how much it's selling for, $15,000. Like, it's
I
amazing.
can't
You go
comprehend
down
that.
source. There was another one. There's a Cristiano Ronaldo one there.
Like this,
Portugal
I
friendly.
get this, right? Like this is Drew Brees' debut ticket signed.
Yeah,
Like I
signed.
get that, right?
The best one is the best two are actually further down. There's one of them. All right. So that there, what do you think that is? That is it looks like Carmelo Anthony's on the front, New York, but that's actually a rookie ticket stub for Giannis Antetokounmpo in his first game. It's got Carmelo Anthony on the front. It's got nothing to do with Giannis besides the fact of that was Giannis's first game, because you go back in time and you look at the date when he made his debut and you go through your ticket. Someone's probably kept the ticket and gone, oh, Giannis debuted on this. I'll send it in to get graded. You wouldn't even have a clue. If you gave me that ticket source and I didn't know anything, I'd be like, oh, what, did Carmelo shoot 40 or something in this game? Or like, did he have a big night? And they said, this is Giannis's rookie, his debut game ticket. I'd be like, is it?
Yeah.
It's
It needs to be
unbelievable.
signed, man.
Yeah, some of those
signed.
ones. Some of those ones are a bit odd, and that sold for whatever it was, $7,500 USD. But I'm just saying, like, some of them, it's just the moment that the ticket was at. I guess it has no direct correlation to the player, and case in point is that ticket. But it is very interesting. It is a new thing. It is not really a new thing. It was something that was discussed in Clubhouse Source a fair bit early on in 2021 when we were on there. There was a lot of discussion around, should I get my ticket graded? I was at this game and I saw this happen. And like I said, when
Here's
I get
another
that,
Giannis one that sold for
yeah,
a
it's
little
another
bit
one
less.
there. I'll be interested to see what's on the other pages. I only went through page one just to have a look, see what's there. Golden State Warriors ticket there. Is that signed by? It's signed by Curry.
Yeah, that is signed by Curry. This is Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, full ticket from the first Stephen Curry / Kobe Bryant matchup. So first time Stephen Curry ever played Kobe Bryant.
Man,
that's pretty cool.
Source, I'm telling you.
And it's signed by Curry.
Source, I have to send in my Miami Heat ticket. I have to. If like those moments there are worth something, how was a moment where the streak was like Miami's streak become the most winning, to win the most games in a row ever in the history of the league, and you're at the game where the Bulls stopped it at like 28. How is that not worth something?
Don't know. You can only send it in and auction it off, mate.
The fact that Chris Bosh had dunk of the year in that game as well, got voted on as dunk of the year from the fans, that itself should make it worth 10,000 USD.
James
mate.
Harden, NBA debut full ticket from Oklahoma City. Like, this is crazy, man. Give me a James Harden rookie card over this rubbish every day of the week.
I saw Brandon Jennings shoot 40. Is that worth something? I saw Carmelo drop 40. I saw Brandon Jennings. I saw Carmelo drop 40.
I've got a jersey of his.
Yeah, I know. I
He
remember
was good
when
back
you
in the
bought
day.
it.
I mean, think about that. Like, think about a guy like that. If he was coming out today in the hobby and he was shooting like that, left hand, different, like, people would lose their shit, man.
They'd be buying him all over the place. But I was at a game where Carmelo dropped 40 at MSG. I still got the ticket stub for that.
There you go. Send that in. Max Verstappen, Formula One debut ticket. Anyone got a Max Verstappen? You got any Formula One Max Verstappen debuts? Did you been to the F1? What was that?
I have
2015, mate.
I've been to qualifying, not to like a race day. Does it count like that? I've got the ticket before Kobe did his Achilles. Is that worth something, Source? Because he was never the same player when he came back.
Anyway, this is an interesting space, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move on from this. I do have a quick smoky, and I will give it. And this is what the guy I was talking about at the start of the show. I said, there's a guy that is just recently put into the Hall of Fame. And I thought, you know what? His cards have dropped that much that how can I not give this as potentially as a play? And this is the man, who it is, Chris Bosh, Hall of Famer.
Couple people we know have been buying his cards.
You can literally buy his PSA 10 Topps Chrome rookie that has a pop of 359. Admittedly, it can go up. Don't get me wrong. But you can go buy it for $125. This is a card that peaked when people were going nuts at $1,250, and it is now $125. It is ridiculously down. I think it should be maybe a $250 card because he's a Hall of Famer, $300 card. You've also got the refractor if you want to start going into the refractors and things like that. Even the refractor, man, like the refractor is worth nothing. $460. I mean, was once a $3,500 card.
That's crazy.
PSA 10 only has a pop of 127. Pop's growing less than 1% a month. This is what I'm saying.
He might be coming out of retirement because of COVID.
I mean, they're giving that many 10 days. He might have to. But
even though we don't need him, I'll take him. He'd still be able to ball out.
Yeah, this is
get D
this
Wade
is what
as
I was
well.
put onto. Someone goes, "Oh, his PSA 9s are so cheap," and I had to look at them like, "Wow, they are cheap. $30 for a PSA 9."
$30.
Chris Bosh
that's
was
right.
once a $300 card. Was once a $300 card.
It's only got 530 in the pop as well.
Yeah, only 530. But look, Dom, I don't use that as a measuring
what's it
stick
going
because
up? 2%.
Because
it's not that bad.
Well, potentially there could be this many in the pop, right? Right, LeBron. You have a look at LeBron. He would be the most graded out of that set.
Yeah,
PSA 10s have 2,100, and PSA 9s have 3,200. So that card could potentially. These are the numbers you need to look at. You can't say there's only 500 in the pop because you could potentially go to this level, right? But
it is LeBron.
Does it deserve to be a $30 card in a PSA 9? I mean, it doesn't deserve to be a $120 card in a PSA 10. I think it should be about a $300 card. I really do think so.
So if it doesn't deserve to be there, all it means is it should be bought.
Yeah, look, that's the play. I'm not going to, take all credit to this one. That's Lukey, Mast_Sports Cards did put me onto the Bosh, and I had a look at it, and I was like, you know what, this is definitely a good smoky for the week, and a good one to, talk about perspective. The amount of money you want to spend on these guys, and then you've got a Hall of Famer, PSA 10, Topps Chrome, selling for $125. Yeah, like. And people paying ridiculous money for these rookies that have done absolutely jack shit. I always say that same line on this show, and I will stick by it. So yeah, just
100%.
Be mindful. That's why I like talking about some of the vets, some of the older guys.
There's a saucy smoky. We've burned through it. Pedro, it is not winter. It is actually summer over here at the moment. Pedro says ISA equals GMA. Adam says, where do you get the tickets from? I personally have them because I was at those games. So I actually kept my ticket stubs from the games. They're at home. But you can go onto eBay and you can buy ticket stubs.
Yeah, there's like eBay. I don't know if people sell this stuff on like, Craigslist. You never know. You might be able to find it on Facebook Marketplace. Change the location of your marketplace to that city and then search for it on Marketplace. Change. I'm serious.
No, I'm just laughing at Adam. Adam said, "Are you locked in Dom's basement sauce?" It looks scary.
No, I just don't have. I just got my little light on, and I've got the door open a bit because I've got the aircon on.
It's a hot day here today in Melbourne. So Saucy's upstairs, so heat rises and he'd be boiling. So I can understand why he's in a dark room. Doesn't want to have lights on, create too much heat. I definitely understand why he's in the dark. But pretty much it. If there's any other questions from anyone while I sign off in the next minute or so, just a few quick ones. Tyson Beck episode is out. Magnificent 7 series is done and dusted. Thanks to everybody that jumped in on that series, helped us out, gave us great insight into what they're doing, who they are. I know Adam was one of them. He's in here. We had Cherry on. We had Grayson from Cherry, sorry. We had Mercury on. Rip and Collect boys. Tyson Beck was on. Lane. I'm missing one. Panther was on as well. It was fantastic. It was genuinely very fun to do and great to, showcase some people in the hobby here in Australia. and what they're up to and what their plans are for the future. But we had Tyson on, gave an awesome insight. Honestly, Sauce, we could have probably gone for hours just to
we
let
had
people
to wrap
know.
it up when it got to an hour 40, and he didn't even know we could have kept
Yeah,
going.
we were just talking and talking. Just to let you know, we were genuinely on a call with him for another 3 hours after we finished the podcast. So we probably could have gone for a 5-hour pod, really, if we wanted to, with Tyson. It was incredible. It was good. It was actually great to catch up with him and have a chat, because we haven't been able to get hold of him because he's been so busy. It was nice of him to give up his time for us. So we really do appreciate it. Last few things. Adam says, looks like PSA and SGC matched on Tinder and had a big night, and 9 months later, ISA slab reared its ugly head. Pedro
I can see how he gets that, because it's got the black inside and then it's got the PSA outside, but it's got the blue label. Oh,
I love it.
I like it, Adam. I like it.
It's winter in Florida, but it's 60 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what Fahrenheit is to Celsius. Did you get in touch with the boys from the US? Global says, not yet, because I'm over here, but I'm going to be back in Melbourne next week. So it gives us more flexibility, Sauce and I, on actually teeing up to jump on their podcast. So we'll have a look at their calendar and try and sort something out. Adam says, doesn't get below freezing here in winter, Pedro. Yeah, that's very true. What's 14 degrees Celsius? All right, nice way to end off the show. Bit of comedy, bit of weather report here. We're the new official Jane Buns of the hobby, giving weather report, Sauce. But on behalf of myself and the great man Sauce, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. It's double coverage. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.